Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. This evening, we are going to tackle a little bit of Battle Knights action. It's a bit of a slow week for DS, so Battle Knights is kicking it up a gear. I don't know what to talk about in terms of this lucky board. Fuck, I hope everyone's comfy because it could take a while to read through the walls of text. But of course, there is another event up, which is the bounty event to be expected per the usual rotation. What are the rewards? Pretty stock standard, getting the blues and purples completed. We're going to have Dreyfus there as the 30 purple task reward. Now, if you're new or visiting and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about in terms of the game, that's fine. Stick around. We do try to cover each event quite regularly. But in terms of this, these are what you need to complete. You need to essentially use bullets and shields, and only, I would say, only do the purples and blues because you're going to get some additional rewards, which are these handcuffs, and it kind of corresponds with what the actual event is in terms of progress. So if you do 30 purples, you will be able to acquire a couple of blue shards of Dreyfus. If you decide to go all the way, get 50, I was going to say 30 again, 50 purple tasks completed, you will then, of course, grab some yummy gems and some perfect highs as well. Now, in terms of what I would recommend, honestly, if you're going to build that weapon, you're going to need around 1,500 to 2,000 bullets, give or take your RNG, and around 30 to 40 shields. It's a lot. It's going to take you a while to get it, especially as a free-to-play. I will be doing this event on the free-to-play account because we did build Iggy. And as you can see, I am excited well, I haven't really looked at it just yet, but I am excited to see whether or not they've updated the store. Um, concerning this, it's pretty stock standard. You're gonna get Charlotte's. No, you're gonna get Dreyfus. Sorry, I thought it was Charlotte for a second there. You're gonna get Dreyfus's main hand and offhand as well. So if you're trying to, I guess, finish him off and you didn't build Icky, that's a great opportunity to do that. Asia is pretty typical. That's her main and sub weapon. However, I was wondering if they've updated the box. It's not going to let me view it, is it? No, it just says I have to purchase the fucker. But basically, I was fucking fingers crossed that they finally gave us a V2 version of this weapon set to include things like Beck's weapons, pretty much, Legolas and into all the newest heroes would have been a little bit more acceptable, I guess, because they're really hard to access their weapons, as you can probably tell. Now, in terms of that, pretty stock standard, you're going to get your perfect highs and senior highs if you're just looking to complete the event for those. That's absolutely fine. But just be aware you need to do the purple and the blue bounties to get handcuffs. The white ones and the green ones don't count. As far as I can remember. I don't know, it's been a while since I've even attempted to do a white or green handcuff during a bounty event. Let me know in the comment section below if I told you the wrong thing. But basically, if you're going to pursue this, you're probably just going to grab, some free stuff, free senior highs, free bullets, free gems. I would personally just stop at the Dreyfus coffee. If you aren't looking to get the actual weapons, it's not a bad investment if you are, of course, building the fantastic clown, and it can't hurt to have him at legendary and use him as food later on for other hackers that will appear. Now, in terms of the value packages, pretty stock standard, you'll get your 20 a day for free. And if you want to spend a little bit of the cashish, you will get 40 and a shield for $15. Not bad in terms of value. In fact, these are probably the only packages that I would really say is of any real significant value. The weekly cards, they're up there. They're up there in terms of what you can get for them. Everything else is pretty shit. Not gonna lie, even though the $160 package does have 35 of these handcuffs, the reality is for you to build like the second weapon, you're gonna need between, I would say, even if you decided to buy this, you're still gonna need like 3,000 of the bullets, and I mean, this could help you to get both the main and offhand of a certain character, But the reality is, most people are probably just going to get one and not worry about the other ones. So value is down the toilet in well, yeah, just don't do it. It's a fucking trap. But in terms of what does Iggy's weapons do, I'm not going to try and pronounce these ones too seriously. Manny Udu over here did a big doo doo. Pretty much, it's an interesting one, right? Because the whole preface or premise, I should say, of Iggy is that he has to continually generate rage points in order to remain transformed. Now, of course, that means that he has a chance to get 15, but generally speaking, he can get an extra 10 rage points every time that he does his attack. Now, that's not terrible, it just helps him to sustain a little bit longer. Is it vital for his build? I don't know. He's offhand at the moment looking pretty good, kind of like a Nintu vibe. For those that have saw the Nintu weapons and the videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. The ability when health is lower than 50 and 25% for the first time, rage and energy will be fully recovered. So this is kind of like a failsafe transformation trigger, and it could technically just be a failsafe sustained transformation trigger. So I feel like this is probably going to be my idea to go for the sub weapon first. Um, just because I noticed Iggy really doesn't perform unless he is transformed. That's the irony of it. And of course, that is based on rage as well. So being able to get that, boost to instantly be transformed, probably, it sounds like a bit more appealing than the other one. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Obviously, this is not the free to play account. I was playing around with it, messing around, I should say, earlier today. But the reason I wanted to do that was this event. So as you can see, they took away the individual boxes, so they actually reduced potentially, quote unquote, the ability to get those 11 per day. Now you're just going to get a box of 8 dice. I don't know how I feel about that. We're going to have to look and see what we can potentially get. So you only get random dice, okay? So there's no way for you to get the purple and gold dice. Don't worry, I fucking looked already. So there's no way to get the purple and gold dice, which is kind of sketchy. Hmm. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this. There is going to be a chunk of text, so I do apologize. You may have to read through this in your own time, but essentially it talks about every day you're going to get this big dice package. You're going to open it up and you're going to get the red dice out of them. Now, it doesn't say that there's any probability to get purple or gold dice in there at all. It just says you will obtain 1 dice. Now, if you can get the, gold and purple dice from there, that's fantastic, but then that's going to be RNG dependent. So essentially, let's just take it from the premise that you're going to get ordinary dice. You can roll between 1 and 6 points, which is all random, and basing on that point, you will advance on the grid. Now, the chessboard will consist of a total of 5 types of grids. So you've got empty grid, item grid, merchant grid, tent grid, multiply grid, and I think that's pretty much it. So we'll discuss that in a second as we have a look at the grid. It's like Snakes and Ladders, but with Monopoly. I don't know. It's an odd thing that they've done. I see a lot of other games implement this successfully. So I hope that this event will be actually good. I know that it will have shit RNG, however. I'm optimistic that maybe we can get through it together. But anyway, the multiple grid is divided into 2 times, 3 times, and 5 times. Essentially, it's interesting, right? So you can land on the merchant grid, and then it gives you an option to buy the item when you do land on it. The tent grid is kind of like a PvP grid, so you can guard that. We'll show you in a second because this is fucking so confusing. There's a wall of text here, but basically the tent is where you can guard and you have to fight the guys, and if you beat them, you get rewards, and if you hold it for long enough, you get additional rewards. I think they try to complicate things a little bit too much. They could have just simplified it. But anyway, the multiply grid is pretty self explanatory. So if you land on an item grid, whatever that multiplier is, you will then get that. So for instance, you rolled times 3 on your multiply grid and then you landed on an item grid, then you would get 3 times that item. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't think it works for the actual merchant though. I don't think you're gonna get 3 times the merchant item. I think it's just the random ass items that appear on the board. When you reach the end of each floor of the chessboard, a reward will be selected in the basic storage. Okay. We'll have to cover that when we get there. Once claimed, the next floor can be entered. At the same time, there'll be one chance to make an additional purchase on every floor. Again, the corresponding rewards on discount may be purchased. Players can make purchases or choose to skip this additional purchasing chance. So it's not obligatory to get to the next floor. Good to know, because it could just be shit you don't want. So basic storage of rewards for each floor. Okay, so this is kind of where the juicy stuff starts. So level 1, you get diamonds, dawn badges, more dawn badges for the next one. Then you get bullets, yada yada yada. Get through all this bullshit. Where do you want? What do we actually want to know? We can get purple hero fragments at level 8 and Haldum debris at level 9, orange Haldum boxes, and then you can get the rare at level 10 plus. Okay, and I assume after level 10 plus, pretty much everything starts to rotate as well. After which hidden rewards will recycle from 11 to 15. Okay, that makes sense. Very similar to the other events. Once you hit like that milestone cap, then everything kind of repeats itself in the reward structure. Um, ugh, very, very whalish. I feel like this is just looking at it, thinking this could be an expensive event if people participate. And then you got the additional discount items of each floor, so it kind of just tells you, doesn't spoil it for you. Um, I mean, it kind of spoils it in a sense. I wouldn't, I don't know, fuck it. Doesn't really matter, PB, just get on with it. Essentially, you want to aim for the vault coins and the senior high coins as the additional purchases. I wonder how expensive it's going to be though, because you're going to have to buy these with gems, so it may not even be worth it to get the additional vault coins. We'll have to see when we cross that bridge. I'm definitely going to have to do an upgraded version of this when we can, I guess, make some significant advancement. But in terms of this, there is a universal particle. So before we jump into any of that lovely rubbish, where's this? Where is the store? There's the store. Okay, so here's the store. So essentially, you can buy this stuff, and you're going to get some additional dice there. What else are you going to get? You're going to get a chance of what is this? Avatar frames. All right, it just looks sketchy and sketchier. But basically, most players are probably going to go. Well, light spenders are going to go and buy this one. You're going to get 10 additional dice. Obviously, it's $8. It is what it is, right? Record book. I feel like most people are interested in this. So every time you roll and make progress in the grid, you're going to get like I guess a point system. I don't know how to describe this. We're gonna jump into it and show you some examples. But essentially, as you progress along the grid, you're gonna accumulate points, and then you're gonna get additional rewards all the way up until you get these ones. Now, these are very interesting because obviously you want to build 4, but let's have a look at what they do at 2. Now, they increase your speed by 10% and crit damage by 20%. So if you have a really high crit hero and you just want to run like 4 corals on them, and then you just run this, you probably could get away with some significant increase in DPS. However, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, there's not a legendary version of this, but every 3 rounds, protection effect will be added. Immunity to dot negative marks by 50%. Dots include pretty much everything. So you've got like a 50-50 chance of not having a dot procced on you, essentially, every 3 rounds. Now, this will be very interesting to see what this will do in terms of at a legendary version of this. I can't actually see any legendary versions of this, which is odd. I assume there will be one, but it could very much like be like the icicle one, the black icicle. Either way, the crit bonus, the crit damage bonus, I should say, isn't too bad. I feel like a lot of players will be able to get this, presumably for free, and then of course you'll have to decide whether it is worth $23 to buy the rest of them. I can't help you with that one. I really don't know how successful we're going to be, but let's just shut up and do it. Let's shut up and give it a whirl. So we landed on 6. So my little dude does this. This is the merchant guy. So that's cool. All right. So give me a 1. That'd be fan-fucking-tastic. No, you didn't want to give me a 1. All right. So we landed on the tent, and this is the dude, right? So if we somehow manage to kill this dude, then we get 3 senior highs. So if we want to fight this guy, I mean, his power is well above ours, but I mean, we can give it a whirl. Let's just go with the stock standard. Um, shit, I've forgotten what my lineup is. And we'll go with stuns. Why not? Let's give it a go. Can I skip this? We lost, statistically speaking. I figured we would. He does have quite a lot more power than us. Now, do we chip away his HP? I doubt it. Nope. So you basically get one. I think you can. I think you can challenge this guy as many times as you want, but obviously we're not going to bother wasting too much more time doing that. He will probably get defeated later on. 20 million is not that high in this type of game. What about here? So then you got 20 million, 21 million. Yeah. So we're like you can probably tell, this is pretty much where people are just going to camp out until they get defeated. And then we do 4, and then we land on this. We finally got some, like, a ticket. I don't even know if that's a good thing. It just seems very rubbishy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know at this point. It doesn't seem very appealing to want to do this. uh, I'm curious to see what these merchants will offer me, though, if I ever manage to land on one of these merchants. Um, there you go. Kind of shit. Not gonna lie. So there's all these tents around here. There's the finish line. There's a couple of things that you can get. Not really. Not an appealing event. If I do say so myself. I mean, look. If it's not going to cost us anything to do, you might as well just do it and grab some rewards. But realistically, it looks more like a whaley event, and it looks like it's kind of aimed towards heavily with the RNG basis. Yeah. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about that event? Do you think that maybe it's worthwhile doing? If you do, that's great. Like, let me know how you went. Obviously, not going to throw shade on people that enjoy that sort of stuff. An interesting point that was made is in the Obsidian Order, when the heroes are released, you can actually check out their weapons here. So things that I wish I knew, but now I do. There you go. Something new every day. If you already knew that, fantastic. But that is a pretty cool way to check out some of the, I guess, sneak peek synergies later on in the game for the next hero that appears. What are we doing? 57 perfect tires. We need to collect some more. Probably have to do my bounty events and make that a thing. Man, we're so far away, yet so close to 120. I cannot wait. Of course, I need to do more fucking shield mine as well. Anyway, I figure there's not really, I don't know. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Anything else at all? No, that's pretty much it. All right. Well, thanks for watching so far. If you like this type of content, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll catch you all in the next one.